My name's Rachel. I'm 26 and I'm Jewish. 5 years ago, I came out as gay, and I was surprised at the positive reactions of everyone around me. My parents supported me, and my friendships didn't change. I even found a new group of friends. But at no point during my process of coming out did I consider what being gay meant for my Jewish identity. I was too caught up in the enjoyment of being able to be myself. But now, my Jewish friends are starting to pair off, get engaged and have children. I can't help but wonder where this leaves people like me, who want a place in the Jewish community that they've always been part of and proud of, but somehow feel detached from because they're gay. I decided to make this film to discover what my Jewish religion actually thinks about homosexuality and whether there is a place for gays and lesbians in today's community. I wrote to various rabbis to see if they would share their views with me, but it became clear that nobody wanted to meet me. I couldn't help feeling disheartened. Was the topic that delicate that nobody would even talk about it? Eventually, there was a rabbi who agreed to meet me.
Judaism is quite clear. It sees homosexuality, sees the act as a to'eva, which is translated into English as an abomination. In the same way as the act of thieving, the act of robbing, the act is what's abominable. If somebody is a genuine God-fearing person and has those desires, I would encourage them to go get some kind of counseling, and within the Orthodox community there is already for a long time there is an organization that deals with Orthodox Jews and Jewesses who are struggling with their sexuality.
I was so curious to meet somebody who had tried out the type of counseling that Rabbi Marcus had talked about.
There were no therapists who dealt with the subject of homosexuality in England, so I went to someone in Israel. I did narrative therapy for a year and I spent like £1,600 or something, and I got frustrated and I said to the guy, look, it's not working, you need to show me someone it's worked on. So he showed me people and they were just in denial. They came in as religious bisexual people and they were still religious bisexual people, just in denial. I think if I wasn't Jewish and I wasn't part of a community, it may have been easier. I just have this image of going into synagogue, people knowing that I'm not straight, and having women in the synagogue looking at me, thinking I'm attracted to them and it being wrong and I'm in the wrong section. And the gossip that comes with the community, I just can't hack that. I just can't take it.
But we still wouldn't reject the person. We don't throw them out, you know. We still try and help, support and encourage them, okay? But very few of them, I imagine, would probably move away because they would feel uncomfortable, okay? And that's maybe where there is just a little element of shame, which very often can be a very positive, okay, with which to work with those people.
It sounds like the beginning of this 1.5-year journey, you were on such a mission to become straight. Why were you so anti being gay? Can you identify the core reason?
I don't think it was such a core reason. It was more as a whole. Everything added up to the fact that it was this negative thing. The fact that my parents can't accept it. The fact I'm being told by rabbis that it's wrong and it's not allowed and that it's an animalistic part of you that you have to override. All these things.
Judaism takes a slightly different view to the more Western secular view, which is, well, everything goes very nice, lovely, but where do you draw the line? What happens if I can convince you that I am wired to be a paedophile? Would you also then say, okay, well, you should embrace your paedophilia, you should give expression to it, you should maybe have an organization of pedophiles, so that you can give each other comfort and understanding because the world doesn't understand you.
Two people with the same sex wanting to be in a loving relationship together, that is completely different.
It's absolutely exactly the same thing. You cannot justify saying, okay, fine, it's all right because it happens to be with another consenting adult, okay? But then you'd be very hard-pressed to say that if somebody finds a child who doesn't mind being molested, that it's okay.
I wanted to do everything to become straight. Honestly, when I was in Israel, I'd cry all the time. I got really depressed. I'd just go out to the forest and just talk to God. I was just like, anything. I'll do absolutely anything it takes to make me straight.
It was clear that she'd been through a deep emotional struggle, and talking to her left me wanting to know what support was out there for Jewish people battling with their sexuality.
Hello, my name is Ariel Friedlander. I'm a rabbi and I'm a lesbian. And I want to say very strongly that it is possible to be Jewish and to be gay. If you believe in God and you believe that God created human beings, then surely God created me. And if you think that what God created was perfect and exactly as God, a perfect God, wanted, then I'm there too. So that Torah that all these Jews say, the Torah says, if the Torah says it's an abomination for two men to lie together as they do with a woman, and they shall be put to death. The Torah also says if a child is rude to its parents, kill the child. If people commit adultery, they must be executed.
It's pretty strict rules.
And we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So how come it's okay to not do some things because we don't think they're right anymore, but not do other things because we don't think they're right anymore?
Rabbi Ariel put me in touch with a man called David Shaw, who had been involved in setting up some social groups for the Jewish LGBT community.
Keshet UK was founded just over 2 years ago now by a group of Jewish LGBT people in London who were passionate and driven to see change happen within the Jewish community and to improve relations within the Jewish community for LGBT people and for the Jewish voice to be heard within the LGBT community. The main group that's been in existence for 40 years in the UK is a Jewish gay and lesbian group. They started as a social action group, but they became more of a social group over the years.
What advice would you give if someone came to you really struggling?
I would advocate that most people should come out, so then it's about being honest with yourself and being able to meet other people who can really help you in an honest, balanced and level-headed way. But not everyone is able to come out, It's not always feasible. But I think you have to really share your thoughts with other people to try and
work them out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I believe once you start saying no, the rules are sacred, it's like you're worshipping the rules. And actually that goes against the 10 Commandments where it says no idols. If you worship the rules because that's it's ridiculous. They're just supposed to try and help us live with ourselves, with each other, in the world, with the other living creatures in the world, so that, please God, we might be happy.
It seemed there was plenty of support out there, including from rabbis, which surprised me but gave me a sense of comfort and relief. I arranged a night out to Candy Bar, a lesbian club in Soho, to get more of a sense of contemporary attitudes to being Jewish and gay.
I've tried to have boyfriends, didn't work out, wasn't happy, I couldn't get emotionally attached to a guy. I really tried just for that bit of normality, but why have that normality if you're not happy?
I don't read the Torah every night by any means, but there are a few events a year that mean a lot to me because I've been brought up that way, that those events mean I go to synagogue and that I socialise with people that are believing in the same thing as me, and that's really important. And that's why if I was to end up with a Jewish partner, that we could still do all of those things and hopefully be accepted in the Jewish community as a family the way everyone else is.
There's parts of it that I really love, but equally I can't go to the synagogue that I grew up in because if I went there with my wife and my children, they would reject me. So that's a difficult thing to kind of balance.
Oh yeah, everybody knows each other, and if someone finds out, then you can guarantee everyone's going to find out about something.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, it's more like what people think rather than what it means to Judaism. It's really hard because Judaism's been quite an important part of my life growing up. I was incredibly close to my grandmother, who sort of drummed into me from a really young age, like the very worst thing you can do is marry a non-Jewish guy.
I think in terms of Judaism as a community, you may be rejected for a week, 2 weeks, but it's like any other piece of gossip, it kind of comes and goes, and it just depends on your personality and how you feel.
I've realised how blessed I am to have family and friends that have supported me right from the start. Without their support, I may have struggled a lot more, like the girl I met. I know that I will never turn my back on Judaism. I want it to be part of my life. But equally, I'm proud to be gay, and I feel that I will soon be able to successfully combine these two fundamental areas of my life.